Hello, everybody, and welcome to that FPL and the first edition of the FPL Show. First of all, I just want to say thank you, everyone, for tuning in. I'm Jack, and I'm joined today by the always gracious Danny Scramble. Introduce yourself, Danny.
Hi, I'm Danny, and I'm happy to be here. Happy to give my thoughts on the upcoming season of the Fantasy Premier League.
Yeah, and that's what it's all about. The show's going to be orientated around FPL, and it's a new Premier League season, baby. I'm so excited.
Oh yeah,
this
baby.
summer there was a lot of tears, Danny. I don't know if you noticed, but there was a Euros going on, and
I
it
did
didn't
notice.
come home. It didn't come home, Danny. There was a lot of tears.
I think we just gotta put that behind us and focus on the new season. Be positive about it. I'm looking forward to things.
I mean, there's more important things happening, Danny, and it's called the Premier League. I'm so excited for
Yep.
this.
Club football is always better than international football.
Facts straight away. Who do you support, Danny?
I support a little old club. I don't know if you've heard of them. They're called Manchester United.
Who?
Manchester United. You heard of them?
Yes.
Greatest club in Britain, probably the world, in my opinion. What about yourself, sir?
Well, I also support United, but I'm not going to be that optimistic and say greatest club in the world right now. Obviously, going for a bit of a purple patch, but I'm thinking I'm pretty optimistic about this season. A lot of new signings in the Premier League in general. And first of all, Danny, I just want to get your take on who has won the transfer window so far.
Well, this is an interesting one. If we're going off big teams, you could say United have had a really good transfer window so far, bringing in Varane, bringing in Sancho. But again, they haven't got rid of their dead wood, and they probably need one more signing. So for me, It's got to be Aston Villa. Yes, they've sold Grealish, but they sold Grealish for 100 million, and they've reinvested that into some quality signings all across the pitch.
Yeah, I agree, man. I think Villa have done absolutely, outstanding. They were pretty much a one club team when they had Grealish. They still had some real good talent. They got Emi Martinez and Ezri Konsa, some players who I really like at Villa. But the way they've reinvested the Grealish money already, they've got Danny Ings, who is just guaranteed goals. They've already got Ollie Watkins, he looks like a very promising striker. And you look at Emi Buendia, one of the best creators to come up through the championship. So I'm really excited for Villa this season. What are your thoughts on Grealish to City? Do you think he's going to do well?
I think he will do well. It's going to take him some time to settle in, get used to the Guardiola style of football. But I have no doubt that he'll pick that up soon enough. It's going to take a few months, I think. People were expecting him to hit the ground running. I don't think that's going to happen. He'll maybe be on the bench for the first few games of the season. But come around December time, he will really be one of the first names on the team sheet at City and really becoming one of the best Man City players going forward.
Yeah, I can see him doing very well for City. The only thing is, I think anyway, is that at Villa, he did get a lot of the ball. And I don't think he's going to get as much as the ball at City, because they're not going to force it to him like Villa did. So I'm going to be interested to see, how the City experiment goes with Jack Grealish. Maybe they pick up Harry Kane, Danny.
Yep, that's what it looks like is going to happen.
It looks like it might happen. And if he does, is Harry Kane going straight into your fantasy team?
He is. Come on, like the amount of creative sort of energy City have. Grealish, De Bruyne, Mahrez. That is a team that has one job: supply Harry Kane. I feel like right now they don't really have that striker with Aguero going. Jesus really isn't that man, in my opinion. He's a decent sort of backup striker, second striker, but I do not think he is the main man. Harry Kane going to Spurs, travelling up to Manchester from London. He will maybe become the greatest Premier League goal scorer of all time.
Okay.
If it's
yeah, so obviously it's a new league and these new big signings, have they affected your predictions for the top four, first of all, Danny? Who have you got?
My top four predictions haven't really been affected by the signings. I do think that maybe there'll be a slight change in the order of the top four, but I do think the top four will be the same top four as it was last season, but there will be a different order. I still think City will be hard to... Anyone that comes higher than City, anyone who has more points than City come the end of the season will probably be champions. But yeah, I'm saying City, United, Chelsea, Liverpool will be the top four.
Okay, so order. Can we have them in order of position? Because on this show, Danny, we're balls out. All right, we're gonna fucking put our balls on the line. You gotta say who you think's gonna
balls
win
on the
it.
Chopping block.
Exactly.
I'm gonna go for. I hate to say it, but I just feel like if they do get Kane, Manchester City, that is, no one can stop them. So I'm gonna have to say, unfortunately, as much as it hurts as a United fan, Manchester City to come first in first place. In second place, Manchester United.
I got United second. Ooh.
Wow, you got to think, Ollie, he has not had the best start. He hasn't won a trophy yet, but what you can see is a clear progression from every season. He is first season, what was it, fourth? The next season, third, Europa League final. This season, second, and potentially a couple of trophies. At least one trophy for me, especially after all of those signings. Sancho, if he doesn't win a trophy this season, then maybe Ollie Manchester United might need to reconsider Ollie's position, because this has been a good few years now for Ollie, and I love the man, but he needs to start delivering on the big.
So you think United are going to win the FA Cup? I take it, because the way I see it is I don't see United winning the league. We know United are going to struggle in the Champions League because they have for the past few seasons, and City always win the Carabao Cup, right?
I mean, they've always won it for the last few years, but if you remember, United did win it under Mourinho in 2016, I believe. So, either the League Cup or the FA Cup for me. Obviously, I don't think United are there to win the Champions League. Of course, with PSG signing Messi as well, you got to think it's going to be between them and City for the Champions League.
Would you be satisfied if I said FA Cup and ran City close for the league?
I would see that as a clear progression from last season, so I would take that.
Would you keep Ollie?
I would keep that if that's the end of the season, an FA Cup trophy and second place. I would keep Ollie. What about you?
I'm not too sure, man. Probably I'd keep him if he won a trophy and ran City close. I think I'd probably keep him. The way I see the league going is a bit different to you. In fourth place, I'm going to go with United.
Ooh.
Third place, I'm going to go City.
City third place.
City third place. And second place, I'm going to go Chelsea. I'm going to go Liverpool for the league.
Very interesting.
I like to switch it up, Danny. I'm not going to be boring, right? I'm not going to tell you the same old rubbish. It's not rubbish.
You got to tell me, why do you think Liverpool are going to win the league, though? Considering they haven't really signed anyone.
Yeah, I know they haven't
aging squad.
Okay, fair enough. I just don't see them having a poor season like last year. Last year.
Oh, for sure, they'll be better than last season, but I'm not sure.
And for me, I rate Klopp very highly. And at the moment, the only reason it's United, City, Chelsea, Liverpool is because City don't have a striker. If City go out and they sign a striker, I'd be putting them top probably. So if they do get Kane, I'd put City at the top.
Okay, interesting. Wow. Come the end of the season, we'll see who is right.
We'll find out, yeah.
Maybe we're both wrong and Arsenal win the league,
Oh, come on, Danny. Don't take the piss now.
Oh, yeah. Come on.
There might be some poor Arsenal fans.
That's impossible.
Yeah, okay. I just want to ask you, Danny, as well. Who have you got for relegation?
So, for relegation, I have, unfortunately, for Crystal Palace. This is going to be a controversial one.
They don't like Crystal Palace for relegation. I don't think they're going to go down.
I'm sorry, Vieira, he's not proven as a manager yet. He's inexperienced, especially he's coming into a big job in the Premier League where they're in a relegation scrap almost every season. And I don't know, it's going to be like Frank de Boer all over again.
Frank de Boer?
The next team I've got for relegation is... it's going to be controversial again. Like, I like them. I like the way they play football. I like their manager. But Norwich, again, they just don't have enough quality. They've sold...
Yo-Yo Club?
Excuse me?
Yo-Yo Club?
Indeed. They have been probably the biggest yo-yo club of the last few years.
Yeah, I think they've got like the record for like most promotions and relegations from the Premier League.
Which is not a record you want, is it? It's not a record you want.
Yeah, well, definitely.
And finally, my third relegation spot. This is controversial again. Southampton. Their squad has been depleted. If you look at their squad, they've sold Ings, their star player, their goal getter. They've replaced him with Adam Armstrong. Is he going to be able to make the step up to the Premier League?
He has done well in the Championship, though, we must say. He does score goals. The one thing I'm a bit concerned about is his height. I think he's only around 5'7" so he's quite short for a striker. The physicality now of the Prem is, you got some big centre backs. And talking about Southampton, they just sold Vestergaard, so I'm guessing they're going to go with Bednarak and Salisu at the back, and I do like those two. So I'm not too sure about Southampton, but if they do lose James Ward-Prowse, because he is being heavily, requested by Villa. Villa really want Prowse, apparently.
And Spurs are looking at him now, so...
Yeah, so that could be interesting. For me, though, the bottom three, I've got... not in order at the moment, let me think about it. But I'm going to go Watford. I just don't know if they've got enough about them really to stay up. I'm going to go Newcastle because I feel like it's always the same old thing. Ashley doesn't really want to invest. He wants to sell the club, but he's not willing to invest in the club, really. I know they signed Willock, but they are just poor. I don't think Bruce is a good enough manager to keep them in the league either. I'm going to go with Southampton as well. So I'm going to say that, Norwich and Brentford stay up.
Interesting. We will see. I do think Brentford will stay up too. I like their team. I like their style of play.
Yeah, a very attacking team. It's going to be interesting to see, though. Like, obviously, we know with Norwich from previous seasons that they come up and they keep to their guns and they like to play attacking football, very open. It's going to be interesting to see if Brentford do that.
I think Brentford will be a bit more tactically flexible, especially going away to the big teams. They could cause a few upsets with their pace on the break. I'm thinking Arsenal this Friday. It could be a very good game.
It could be. So now going on to FPL, have you got anyone in your squad who is, maybe on a budget that someone might be missing out on? And let's say they're putting their team together and they've got maybe, 5 million left and they need a player. Who would you say to go and get?
Sort of underrated player, who you saying?
Sort of underrated player, someone might be missing. For example, I'm going to go with mine first of all, right? And I'm going to go with Sanchez, the Brighton goalkeeper.
Yeah.
He's valued at 4.5 million, and last season I was very true from the start. I think when Villa signed Emile Martinez, I was like, yeah, I'm going to go with Emile Martinez, because I remember seeing him for Arsenal and thinking how good he was. I was actually shocked that they let him go, to be honest.
Shocking move by Arsenal.
Yeah, but now, what's his name? Martinez, his price has gone up, so I was looking to get some more quality in my team, so I went a bit cheap, and I've gone with Robert Sanchez. And this guy is, if you look on the total points from last season, he was very good. And Brighton, as a defence, are continually getting stronger. Obviously, people are going to say, yeah, but they've lost Ben White. And that's very good. That's all fair and well. But to be honest, I'm very satisfied with the Brighton defence. And I think that Sanchez is an absolute steal for 4.5 million.
I like it. That is... If I didn't go, I went with Martinez. But if I didn't go with Martinez and I was looking for a cheaper sort of goalkeeper that could be reliable, could get these clean sheets, Robert Sanchez would be a great pick.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay. For me, I would... so I've got a few players that I could pick and say this is an underrated pick. And I've gone for no really cheap players.
That's fair enough.
But I would say, as a striker, you're going to be paying a good $6 million minimum for a striker. But one of the cheapest strikers I've gone for is Kelechi and Iheanacho. I do think this is the season he steps up to Leicester's plate, and he comes out of Jamie Vardy's shadow.
Yeah.
Last season, towards the end of last season, he was scoring loads and loads of goals.
Yeah.
And this season, he scored in the Community Shield on Saturday, so he's going to be in good form going into the first game. And I think Iheanacho is a great pick up front. If you're looking for a cheaper sort of striker, someone that is a lot cheaper than someone like Kane, but will guarantee you goals come this season.
Iheanacho, yeah. Well, he scored 12 goals last season and he had 2 assists. But you could definitely see towards the back end of last season he was starting to come into his own. Talking of the cheaper players as well, I do have a couple more.
Go on.
So, first off, it's a risky play by me. I'm not 100% sure he's going to play. But the left back for Liverpool, Timiskas, is it? Timiskas? I think he's Greek. Robertson's injured for the start of the season. I'm banking that Liverpool are going to start him. And if you look at their early fixtures, they've got Norwich away, Burnley at home. Then they've got Chelsea, which is a bit of a sketch one. But then they've got Leeds, Crystal Palace and Brentford. Right, yeah. So these are some very winnable games. And you could be looking at some clean sheets as well for Liverpool. So I've doubled up at the back with Liverpool and I've gone with Alexander-Arnold and Tsimikas. But if you're looking for a player who's maybe in that midfield who looks cheap, this season I would definitely say for 5.5 million, the bargain of the entire Fantasy Premier League is going to be Emile Smith-Rowe. This guy's just been given a 10 shirt by Arsenal. He's going to be a regular, but he did play a lot last season, didn't he? He came into the team and he wasn't really removed from the team. Yeah, and now with that experience, under his belt, he's gonna probably kick on this year. And with Arsenal not having any European football, they're only going to be focusing on domestic games. So I can see Emile Smith-Rowe having an absolutely belting season for Arsenal.
I think he is a really, really good shout. I feel like last season he was getting his first experience, and now this season he knows what the league is. He's ready for it. He's a bit older now. This is the season where he really kicks on and becomes that attacking midfielder Arsenal need.
Yeah.
However, you could say, on the other hand, if they go out and sign on an attacking midfielder, what does that do to Smith-Rowe's game time? But I do think if they don't, and this is early season,
I think they're going to...
He's going to score goals. He's going to get assists. Go on.
Yeah, I think they're going to play him. I mean, I don't understand why they would go out and sign another attacking midfielder unless it was a backup, because Smith-Rowe's just been given the 10 shirt. You don't get given, a notorious shirt like that at Arsenal if you're not the guy, Do
you really think... I don't know, they even need a backup. They at least need a backup, because I do think that Arsenal team is lacking creativity.
Yeah.
Or they could get a creative winger.
Well, I don't think Arsenal are going to finish I think Arsenal are probably on for a 6th position this year, and I think they'll do pretty well.
I do think, the only way is up for Arteta at this point.
Well, come on, Danny. He's not going to go down anymore, is he?
You don't know, but yeah.
Yeah, so let's talk for our teams. Do you want to go first, Danny?
Okay, so, this is my team. It's called the Fanange Man Fam. I don't know why I come up with that name. Basically, Bruno Fernandes, the commentator on FIFA, calls him Fernandes.
Yeah, it's a weird one. Is he actually called Bruno Fernandes? And we've just been calling him Fernandes.
That's how you pronounce it,
Okay.
Maybe, I'll come back next week and I would have given you a definitive answer. Maybe it is how you say it in Portuguese. I'll do some research, do some homework.
Do some homework. Okay. So I'm looking at your team now, and I'm a big fan of your back line. Big fan of Reece James. I'm not too sure if he's going to start the season or not. I think he will. So with Maguire, do you see him getting more goals this season from set pieces?
United have got that set piece coach, haven't they? I forgot his name. It has escaped me, but they brought in a set piece coach, and you did see in United's last friendly against Everton, it was a Shaw corner, and then Maguire headed it in, and that is the combination we want to see, and I think that combination is going to happen. Maguire is just way too dangerous. You saw it in the World Cup, you saw it in the Euros. This is what it needs to happen for United, doesn't it?
Well, since he's arrived at the club, been expecting more goals from Maguire, actually, because we bought him off the back of that England World Cup 2018 one, isn't it?
Yeah.
And, and he was... they had the old love train going in the England squad. And the one I really like is Luke Shaw, because at United recently, especially down the left-hand side and corners, we've been seeing him take a lot of set pieces.
Yeah, guaranteed assists.
Guaranteed assists. And, last year, we always knew Luke Shaw was a good player. And when he arrived at United, it was obvious he was a good player until he had the injury. But last season, he showed a side to his game which I didn't know he had. And that was the crossing ability, getting it down the line, getting a ball across. And he was superb at it. So I'm a real big fan of that pick.
Yep. And you got to think, United have brought in Varane as well. So Shaw and Maguire, they could be on for a lot more clean sheets this season compared to last.
Yeah, a bit more cover at the back for the full-backs going forward.
Indeed.
Yeah. Let's talk about your midfield, Danny.
So, there's a lot of players that you could have gone for in midfield, but there's only one midfielder that should be in everyone's team come game week 1, and that is Bruno Fernandes. And he should be your captain too.
I thought you said Souček. Well, I disagree with the Bruno Fernandes captain shout.
He scored the most goals from midfield last season. You can't ignore him.
I don't deny that, but if you look at the fixtures, Danny, I think a smart man's pick would be to get Salah and captain Salah against Norwich.
I could have got Salah, but I was thinking I wanted more midfielders in, and it all came down to money. And maybe I'm bad at budgeting. Maybe we're going to come back next week, and I would have had a bad week. But it was
when you're bottom of the league, yes.
No, that's not going to happen. I think I'm going to win this season, regardless.
You're going to win?
Yeah.
Well, I'm the reigning, defending People's Champion. I'm the champ halfway through the year.
Came like third or something.
Yeah, I stopped playing halfway through the year. Anyway, Danny,
This man started a fantasy football podcast and he stopped halfway through the year last season.
I got bored. Right, let's talk about your front three.
So, I've gone for quantity over quality.
I can see that, right? Because your guys are like, you've got like the god tier strikers in the Premier League. Then these guys are the other guys. Do you know what I mean? They're the ones below that who are like the unsung heroes, almost like. And I think we should just call your front three right now the bagsmen, because they're just going to be bagging goals all season for you.
Yeah, and maybe one of them won't get 25 goals, but you can probably guarantee between 12 and 15 goals for all three of them. That is a lot of points, plus assists. I think Ings could get 15 plus goals. He could be getting up to 20 if this Villa team starts firing on all cylinders.
I can see Ings getting doubles figures for sure. Iheanacho, I think he might be around there. There's a chance that he doesn't turn up, but I think he will. The one I worry about is Antonio. Obviously, he's quite injury prone. He does miss a lot of time with West Ham.
That's what I would worry about as well. Antonio, he's injury prone. But that's what transfers are for. We take him out if he gets injured.
And that is what your wild card is for, Danny. Game week 2. Change the entire team.
I don't think I'm going to use my wild card in the game week 2. Hopefully not. But if the week is bad enough, I might have to,
We'll see in game week 2, Danny. Right, so let's talk about my team now. The People's Champ.
Yep.
So I've got Sanchez in goal, first of all. Like I said before, I just think he's solid. I've gone with the Liverpool 2. I think Trent's this year's I think they've got Van Dijk back now, so I think they're going to be a lot more solid defensively. And they're going to be able to play someone. I think they'll be able to play Fabinho at holding midfield, which I think does help a lot rather than having him at centre back.
Yeah,
I think Liverpool are going to get quite a few clean sheets through the opening games. And I also think Trent might be able to bag a couple of assists. Luke Shaw. I just think Luke Shaw is a must-have in people's teams. You know,
he is.
I think he's like the new Andy Robertson in terms of FPL. Right, my midfield.
I hope so.
I've gone with Son, and the reason I've gone for Son is not necessarily for game week 1. It's just to have him in there, because with Kane potentially leaving, well, we know anyway, if Kane stays and he does end up playing for Spurs, that Heung-min Son is going to still get points because he does it, you know, every season with Kane. But if Kane goes, I can see him really flourishing, and I think
Becoming that main man.
He's going to be the main man, yeah, you know what I mean? He's going to have a chip on his shoulder, but he's definitely going to produce, I think. Obviously, I've got the real bagsman, Bruno Fernandes, in the midfield.
Yeah.
Alongside Mo Salah, who I'm captaining Mo Salah this weekend, vice-captain in Bruno. And then I've got Emile Smith-Rowe. Just think he's going to bag. I've got a similar strike force to you. I really wanted Danny Ings, but I just wasn't sure if this Villa team is going to click early enough for me to put him in there.
Yeah.
So I went with Ivan Toney's a bit of a budget option, and you know, I think he's got the record for most championship goals in a season. So, you know, the guy can score. So I've definitely gone with him. On my bench, I've gone with Fozzie in goal. Not too sure if he's going to play. I'm pretty sure Dan Backman might start the season. We got Calvin Phillips on there as well, just because plays a lot of minutes for Leeds. He does sometimes take the occasional free kick or corner. I cannot pronounce the name of this Norwich centre-back.
Omar Bamadillier.
Yes, that is how you say it, Danny. Thank you very much. Right? Omar Bamadillier. He's a great prospect. Yes, so last season, Norwich had an injury at centre-half, and I think he was only 19 at the time, but he came into the team and he stayed there. So, for me anyway, it's if Timothy doesn't start, this guy does have the potential to start, and then just to have someone in there, I guess, you know. And I've got Manquillo as well, just because dirt cheap might play for Newcastle, but I doubt it.
So I want to just bring you back to Ivan Toney, because I do think it is a bit of a risky pick. I've seen a lot of people pick him. It's something like 40% of everyone has picked Toney. And I think, he's a great player. He smashed it for Brentford last season. But he's coming up to a new league. And to have him in game week 1 in the new league is a bit of a risk. I think it will pay off, but there's always that chance that it's going to take him a while to get used to the Premier League. But we'll see, I guess. Well,
they've got Arsenal in the first game, so I kind of expect maybe like a 3-2 sort of game in that sort of game.
I would love a 3-2.
I like Toney because he's like a classic striker in the box. He scores a lot of goals from inside the box. He's not one of those strikers who's scoring like from outside the box, like a Kane. You know, Kane scores a lot from outside the box. Toney, I think he's the real deal, you know. I think he's going to score quite a few this season. I think he'll get double digits. That's my prediction so far.
Okay, that is a prediction. We will see.
Okay, so let's move on to the game week 1 fixtures, Danny.
Okay.
Yeah?
What are you thinking then?
So obviously the season starts Friday night, 8 o'clock. Brentford Community Stadium. We've got Brentford against Arsenal.
I can't wait for this one.
I can't wait for this one. I think this game's going to be sick.
I think the defences will be leaky. There'll be a lot of attacking.
I think that as well. I think leaky defences, because Brentford have got quite attacking fullbacks as well. So, So talking about FPL again, I think Rico Henry might be a deal to go and get him. So who have you got in that? Arsenal, Brentford?
I'm going to go for a 2-2 draw.
2-2 draw, fair enough. I will go with 3-2 Arsenal. Leeds United against United. Manchester United. United, everybody's United. Okay. Who have you got in this one, Danny? United at home, obviously, against Leeds.
I'm going to have to go with my beloved United. I do think Leeds are such a great team to watch, and I think they will improve from last season. I haven't really seen them make too many signings, but then...
they signed Junior Firpo from Barcelona, was it? Yeah?
Yeah, I don't know. Is that a signing that's really going to make them...
Well, I'm not going to lie and act like I know a lot about this guy. I know next to nothing.
I thought you watched La Liga every week, bro.
I watch every league every week. No, I don't. I'm not gonna come on here and be one of those people who acts like they watched the French league in December. Okay, so we've got Burnley, Brighton. I think you got to go with Brighton.
I didn't say what result. I think United are going to win 3-1.
Okay, I'm gonna go United 2-1. Okay, Burnley, Brighton. You got to go with Brighton, right?
I don't know. This is definitely the most boring game on Gameweek 1. I'm sorry, Brighton fans. I'm sorry, Burnley fans, but I will not be looking forward to this one.
Oh, man, I don't mind it. I think it'll be a decent game. Obviously, there's other games I'm more invested in with the 3 o'clock kickoffs. First of all, I'd say Watford Villa. I think that's going to be a good game. And the Leicester Wolves game. But Brighton play nice football, man. I'm a big fan of Graham Potter. And... I'm pretty excited to see what they can do this year.
And of course, you have Robert Sanchez in goal, so you.
I've got Robert Sanchez in goal, mate. He's going to get me so many points this year. I'm telling you right now. Right, so Brighton, I'm going to go with a 1-1 game, but Brighton are going to be the more dominant side in this game, I think.
I'm going to go for 0-0.
0-0.
Classic Burnley.
Thanks for bringing the mood down, bro. Right.
It'd be a good result for you, so...
I mean, I like the clean sheets. Chelsea, Palace, Danny. Have you got any opinions on this one?
I think this is going to be a baptism of fire.
Wait for slander. Vieira. Slander for Vieira. I knew this was coming. Yeah, right.
I'm just speaking my truth. I think 4-0 Chelsea.
4-0?
Yep.
Did you watch them the other night?
Yep, and I think that was a glorified friendly. On Saturday, Chelsea will be...
He didn't celebrate it like a glorified friendly.
He's going to run straight into the starting lineup.
He's not.
He's got...
Right, I'm going to make a prediction here. I'm going to go with Chelsea 1, Crystal Palace 1.
Okay, that is interesting.
I don't know. I've got high hopes for Crystal Palace this season. Obviously under Rowe, they played, a brand of football that wasn't that exciting, but they had exciting players like Eze and Zaha. Obviously, I think Eze's going to miss I don't think it's just the majority. I think he might miss all the season, but if not, he's going to miss the majority of it, which is disappointing. But, man, I'm excited for Crystal Palace this year. Who did you have in that game, Danny?
4-0 Chelsea.
4-0 Chelsea, wow. Everton, Southampton.
This is... I do think Everton are going to be poor.
You've got Hopper.
Season. And then Southampton are going to be relegated, so...
Yeah.
I think 1-1 here, to be honest.
1-1. I'm going to go with Everton 3-1.
3-1 Everton.
Yeah, I don't know if I trust Southampton yet. I do like their 2 centre-backs, but I don't know if... I think they'd be better if they had... Each of them had someone different alongside them. I like them individually, but... Yeah. And they've lost Bertrand as well, and they've brought in... I think it's a young French left-back. I could be wrong on that, though. Yeah, and they're selling... They sold Danny Ings as well. Yeah, 3-1 Everton. Leicester Wolves, Danny.
Leicester Wolves. I've got high hopes for Leicester in this game. I've got Iniacho. I'm going to go for 2-0 Leicester. I think Wolves losing Nuno. I think the new manager is going to get used to the Premier League. Sorry, what was that?
They've made some exciting signings.
Wolves, they have. And
the young lad from Barca, Trincao, is it?
Trincao, yeah. And
I think he tore it up in the under-21s, didn't he? In the under-21 Euros.
And I believe Raul Jimenez is back as well from his head injury. So
yeah, all the best
for him. More dangerous because he is an absolute monster.
You're a big fan of Jimenez.
I love Raul Jimenez.
Okay, so how do you see this one going? I think maybe Leicester, but not by much. I think maybe a 2-1.
2-1. Okay. I said before 2-0 Leicester, and I'm going to stick by my guns. But then once you've educated me about Wolves, I'm starting to have second thoughts about that. But I can't.
I don't know that much about Wolves.
I'm not backing out.
Sorry. Watford versus Aston Villa.
This is going to be an absolute cracker. I'm going for 4-3 Aston Villa.
4-3? Fucking hell. Right. I don't see it being that much of a cracker. I think it's going to be exciting to see how Villa do. I think Watford are going to be very stingy at the back and they're not going to want to let too many goals in. I think they're going to struggle this season. But I don't think Villa are going to click straight away. So I'm going to go with... I don't want to say a draw, man. 1-0 Villa.
Okay.
Okay, and then we're on to the... I swear they get them every time at the start of the season. Liverpool and Norwich. I swear that's like every time they come up, Norwich. And they get battered every time as well. So I don't think it's going to change. I'm going to go 5-0 Liverpool.
5-0 Liverpool. That is a prediction.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think Liverpool will win, but it's going to be 3-0.
Okay. Sunday, the 15th of August, Danny. We've got Newcastle against West Ham. 2:00 kickoff.
This will be a draw. 2-2.
Really? I'm going to go West Ham. I know they've lost Lingard and a lot of people are not expecting too much from them this season. Just because, they've lost quite a few goals, I think, in Lingard. But I do just see them having another solid season. I think they'll finish mid-season between, 10th and 7th, West Ham. I'm going to go for them to win this pretty clearly. I'm going to go 2-0 West Ham.
Okay. They do have Benrahma, and I think he will...
Benrahma. Okay.
No, Benrahma, I mean.
Benrahma.
I do think he will take Lingard's mantle, and, I swear he didn't score last season, Benrahma. But he looked extremely dangerous every time he played.
He came from Brentford, didn't he? And everyone was super excited to see him in the Prem. And he just didn't really take to it. It'd be interesting to see if he is going to do a lot better this year.
I think he will, and keep your eye on him for your fantasy teams. He could be a good cheap option.
Benrahma. Okay, I'll keep an eye out on him, Danny. We've got Spurs City in the Super Sunday finale. Spurs at home.
Yeah. This is arguably the biggest game. Well, it is the biggest game of the weekend.
It's the biggest game of the season.
The biggest game of the weekend. It's not the biggest game of the season.
Let's talk about the game now, Danny. How do you see this one going?
I don't know. I think people are underestimating Spurs a bit. I think everyone, has been laughing at Spurs at that whole situation with Mourinho leaving, with Kane wanting to leave, and with them, the whole manager situation getting rejected by loads of different managers. Gattuso was on the cards at some point.
Sometimes it may be good, sometimes it may be shit.
Exactly, which is how you can describe Spurs. They play lovely football, but they're a bit shit.
Sometimes maybe shit. Yeah. So, do you see Kane starting in this game?
I don't think so. He hasn't been training, has he? I think he came back to training today or something.
Oh.
It was either today or tomorrow he's come back to training. And the time of recording, FYI, is Thursday. So,
yeah, it is Thursday. Sorry for the late. Next week we will be a bit more earlier so we can get the episode out a bit quicker. So, do you think Spurs are underrated? So you go in with Spurs to beat City. Is that what you're saying, Danny?
I'm not saying they're going to beat them. I'm just saying people are underestimating them. But Man City did lose the Community Shield last weekend against Leicester.
They did, and I wasn't very impressed by Man City at all. I know they didn't have a lot of they're missing quite a few players as well to start the season, so that's pretty interesting because they haven't got De Bruyne, I don't think.
No, De Bruyne is out.
They haven't got Aguero or David Silva or Vincent Kompany.
Or Gareth Barry.
Gareth Barry. No, you know what? Everyone's going with City to win this game. And sometimes you just have a gut feeling. I'm going to say Spurs nick it. 1-0 or 2-1.
Spurs. I like it. I like that. I like you putting your
you know how Nuno plays as well. He likes to put his defense in the stand. Yeah, that far back, Danny. They was at Old Trafford. They was in the Stretford End by the end of the game.
City. This is definitely the hardest game to call in the whole weekend, in my opinion. Because you expect City to win because they're City, but if you remember last season, they didn't really get going until about December, where they started churning out those wins.
Yeah, they had a lot of games in hand as well last year. Do you remember? Because of they missed pre-season and that, and then they had a game cancelled because I think it was the Everton game cancelled because of coronavirus. And they just came out of nowhere because you saw their points tally and you knew they could catch United and that. And then all of a sudden they were 10 points clear, within no time. So,
but they were slow starters and they could be slow starters again. Of course, a lot of their players were involved with the Summer Euros, the Summer Olympics, and the Copa America. So I don't think they've had the best pre-season compared to Spurs, maybe. But I don't know. This is a hard game to call.
Who are you going with, Danny? That's what the people want to know.
Right. I'm going to go with City, but I feel like Spurs are going to play really well, but they're going to get a silly red card, which is going to destroy their game plan, and City will take advantage of that and win 2-1.
Okay, who's getting the silly red card?
It's going to be Sanchez on his debut. The lad from Atlanta. Centre back.
It's Romero.
Oh, shit.
I was like, Sanchez on his debut.
I swear his name's Sanchez. I swear his name's Sanchez. It is Romero. Christian Romero.
Yeah. Is he going to play even?
I don't know, to be honest.
I don't know. If you're looking at a red card, I think Doherty red card maybe, because I think he's going to play Doherty this year. Because Nuno.
That is a funny sort of story to come out of this. Nuno going to Spurs is that Nuno got rid of Doherty and now he's with him again. If he was happy to let him leave Spurs.
I don't think he was. It was he didn't want Doherty, because I remember Doherty was so good for Wolves that season. But
Spurs fans absolutely were really disappointed with him though last season. He was really poor. When you got to think, Serge Aurier is keeping you out of the team, Yeah,
I guess. All right, and Danny, I guess it's time to end the show. I mean, wrap this one up.
Let's wrap it up in cotton wool by saying that this is the number
biggest
one
game of the season. No,
this is the number one fantasy football podcast. The only one you need.
Is it a podcast? I don't even know what this is. But anyway,
I think it's the podcast, but
it's whatever you want it to be. Really, it's whatever you make of it. But Danny, I just want to say it's been an absolute pleasure talking to you today. I've really enjoyed this. So we'll do this again next week.
Yeah, and if you do like us and you enjoyed this podcast, be sure to
on all platforms, Instagram below. I'm only joking. Just please subscribe to the channel and leave a like. Please leave a comment as well. We'll be sure to get back to you. And thank you very much.
Thank you very much, everyone.
Peace.